The ARCA REMAX Series debut of Ricky Carmichael.
You can see all the damage to the right rear corner of that 33 car. Same thing that happened to Brian Scott earlier. Dale Jr. earlier just exploded. There's Kevin Harvick. He was on the backstretch watching over there. And
he was back there with all his friends, wasn't he?
Yeah. I'm going to tell him you said that, Kenny.
I'm sure he's pleased. Obviously, this is not the outcome he wanted, but he's got to be pleased with what he saw up to this point.
Ricky's goal today was to get approved by NASCAR to run a truck race at Daytona and to get some experience. I would have to give Ricky an A+ for the job that he did today.
You and I are going to prove him, right, Kenny?
Definitely.
So when they ask, it's been kid tested and Phil and Kenny approved. Take a look at what happened for the 33. The right rear tire is going to blow. He's running 6th right there.
Or Patrick Shelter did a great job avoiding him. A terrific job avoiding him. There's Terry Jones and Jeremy Clements making slight contact on the inside of the racetrack. There's Ricky Stenhouse. He's going to avoid. I'll tell you, Ricky did a great job. You see him, he's driving that thing the whole way. He's got the brakes locked up. Now he lets go of the brakes so that thing straightens out. Really did exactly what you're supposed to do. Here's Matt Carter's on board. You see all the debris. Frank Kimmel's on board. All the debris off of Ricky's car. And again, keeps it out of the wall, keeps it from taking somebody else out of the racetrack. Nice job.
It's like a hand grenade when it goes off.
It's amazing. It's like a bomb.
Yes, it's huge.
And they continue 3-1.
Oh, we got a crash in the Prawblems. James Buscher got turned. Big crash.
Oh, and now coming up behind him, we've got quite a few more trucks that are moving into the smoke and can't see where they're going.
Johnny
Benson, one of those trucks.
Ricky Carmichael got hit. That was just a situation where Buscher had gotten touched in the left rear quarter panel. I was watching this develop.
Yeah. That's Johnny Benson saying, sorry, fellas, we're done.
James Buscher was running second when they crossed the start-finish line to Ron Hornaday.
And I think he and...
There's James Buscher right there and Johnny Sauter. Yeah, James is on the outside of a 33 of Hornaday. And looks like Todd drifts up the hill, gets into him a little bit, turns him sideways.
James was perfect. He was up beside Hornaday racing for the lead, and Todd just, and you know, we talked about how difficult it is to race a truck through the Prawblems. Todd couldn't get his truck turned, and he got into the left rear of Buscher.
They call it a straightaway, but it's really not. It's an 18-degree banked turn.
There goes Johnny.
Johnny was trying to make his way back to the pits, and then obviously had an oil line or something ruptured, and that caught fire for a moment. He just turned her down on the grass. Here's another view here. There's a contact right there. Watch this now.
What if you're James Buscher, 18 years old, racing for the lead at Daytona, and get taken out by a veteran? That's got to make you scratch your head. He's the one that's supposed to make the mistake.
Man, he is taking his.
Problems behind him. Into the wall goes the 4.
And Terry Cook's going to hit the inside wall.
Inside wall. Those two pinched together. There was a truck in the middle of that.
Yeah, it wasn't Terry Cook and Ricky Carmichael that got together initially.
7th caution of the day. We see the damage to the right front of that number 4 of Ricky Carmichael.
Yeah.
Just as we had mentioned, he was staying in the game, and this takes place. Yeah. Now, here is the problem.
You got 3 wide right there. Just gets tight. The 25 and the 29 actually make contact initially, and then Terry gets into the 4 of Ricky Carmichael.
It looked like it's one of those cases where the 25 did not know he might have been 3 wide there. The 29 still had his nose in there. He just moved up, and as he moved up, he got pinched and turned his truck all the way into the 4. Heavy impact to the inside wall there, which will probably be pretty tough to be able to continue on.
That's obviously not the case right now. Still 4 remaining, but Bodine trying to make his move to the outside, and we have trouble on the back straightaway.
Problems for the 14 and the 5. Now they all bottle up behind them. The 16's into the wall. Hornaday, your championship leader, is into the wall. A lot of damage on the back stretch. Oh, and Max Pappas gets into the 5 of Mike Skinner as they're slowing down the back stretch.
Wow.
Johnny Sauter was trying to get back in line in the middle. There was some contact made.
What happened off turn 2 was Bodine got a bump draft off of turn 2 that shot him wide off the turn. And then when he tried to get everything, that bunched them all up. And then everybody started scrambling for positions after that.
Watch now. Watch right of your screen. Johnny Sauter in the 13 gets into the quarter panel of Mike Skinner.
Look at Crafton slide by barely on the outside. Colin Brown barely through the hole.
Ooh, look at Rick Crawford's rear end lift up off the ground.
Ricky Carmichael takes a spin. A little bit of damage on that truck.
Timothy Peters involved.
Timothy Peters, our winner from last week, crashed this week.
So look at him coming straight at you down the backstretch.
It looked like the 30 of Top Bodine and Skinner washed up to the high side, and they wanted to get back over there to the inside. And when Skinner went to the inside, what?
Max Pappas just running into the side of that 5 truck.
There's another, you can see right there, Johnny Sauter got bumped around. Then he got into the 5 of Mike Skinner. Mike got into the 14 of Rick Crawford. Chad McCumbee comes along, he's involved. Brian Scott, there's the 16 truck, the 33 of Hornaday. Looks like James Buscher, very little damage.
Because he's got corporate sponsors on the side of that truck. And also, he'd like to think...
Oh, Hornaday's in the wall. Hornaday into the wall in the backstretch. Now Ricky Carmichael also in the 4, spinning. The 51 of Eric Almirola caught up in this. There's Johnny Benson in the 95 trying to avoid.
What a job by Nelson Piquet Jr. too, Phil.
Second time he's done a great job. Look at the damage to our champion, Ron Hornaday.
There's the 15 of Ted Musgrave.
Both the Billy Blues trucks, the 15 and the 51, tore up in this crash.
There's Ricky Carmichael with a lot of damage with that monster Chevrolet.
We're not going to have anybody left.
This one happened up toward the front. Again, the 3rd caution of the night. Over 6 trucks involved in this incident. Rick Crawford also involved in the 14.
You see his grill pushed in. Now the truck's smoking.
Let's take a look from the DirecTV blimp at what just happened.
Watch Hornaday now.
He's the first guy I saw get out of whack.
He's side by side with Skinner.
Oh, is he going to get a bump draft from Ricky Carmichael?
They get a bump draft from Ricky Carmichael, and it may turn him.
No, I think he had a flat.
I think he had a flat tire. I don't think Ricky Carmichael ever touched him.
No, it looked like that's what it was setting up to be, but Hornaday just veered to the right. I was going down the back straightaway the other day in my cup car and blew a left rear tire, and it just drove right to the infield. He might have blown a right rear tire, and it pulled him right into the outside wall. You know, so much...
Watch, we're going to see before Ricky Carmichael gets there, that 33 truck's going to veer to the right.
It's hard to tell from that angle.
It's pretty close.
But I think from the other angle, it didn't look like Hornaday ever, or excuse me, Ricky ever touched him. See if we can get a better look at that.
Nelson
Look at Neil. That's an amazing job Nelson Piquet did there.
Let's keep an eye on it now. Boy, it almost looked from that angle like there might have been a slight contact.
If we could look back at that first one and really see, it looked like from the first look we saw from it, Ricky didn't hit him. You can see the right rear tire's down on Ron's truck right there. I think
riding along with Elliott Sadler.
Keep coming on the bottom. Keep coming low, low, low. Keep coming low.
Caution's going to come out now. Ricky Carmichael not able to get all the way into and onto pit road. Actually, looked like he was continuing on.
I think maybe his car might not have been able to stop. A lot of times when you hit the wall like that, it'll break a brake rotor or something like that. So that may have been what happened. Ricky may not have had brakes when he came down pit road.
Because we saw him on pit road. We saw him come onto pit road. And then, obviously, issues with that race car. He is just past pit road, and the safety crew comes to him now.
Here he is on pit road right now. He started to turn in, realizes he has no brakes. You see that car not slowing down at all.
And kept right on going. Look at how the left rear wheel is slid out from the outside of the body of that race car. That's how hard he hit on the right side.
Yeah, bent that Panhard bar and pushed that rear end housing out the left side. But good move not trying to turn into an opening or turn into a spit, because obviously with no brakes he would have run into something.
Closing in on the final laps of this race. This is the 7th caution that has come out.
The opportunity to get the lead back. So Tim George certainly in the thick of things now for the first time today on the outside.
Yeah, that advice went out the door just a few moments ago. Stay on the bottom. Well,
oh,
no,
trouble.
Problems, the 66 of Mark Thompson and Bill Barrett in the 52. A hard hit as they go by our cameras. Also involved, we saw there's
the Alex Kennedy right there with the 38 car.
That was the one that caught the wall just in front of us.
Part of his tailpipes
Kyle Martell in the 43 slows to try to avoid.
A lot of damage to Alex Kennedy's car.
Trying to get that to come to a stop.
Horrible break for all these cars involved. There's Ricky Carmichael's car. Kenny, there's your car on the outside of the 66. That's Bill in the 52.
See Mark Thompson trying to pull away from this.
You'll see in the replay here, they got one of the guys got hung in the right rear. One of the cars in the middle.
Yeah, a little damage to James Buscher's car. Remember, he was towards the back of that pack. Actually, a lot of damage to that Phoenix Construction Toyota. See the window net down.
Window net down. That's a great sign as the safety crews will attend to him. Again, just behind him, that 66 of Mark Thompson.
Brian Silas with a lot of damage to his Ford.
So the third caution of the day comes out. This is the first multi-car incident we've seen in the ARCA Racing Series.
They were consistently running around here 2 and 3 wide, and cars getting close to each other. And let's see if we can take a look. Now watch, look at 4 wide. You see cars touch right there. Looked like Bill got hooked in the right rear corner by the 25 car, Mikey Kyle. As you mentioned, hard contact for Alex Kennedy into the outside. Well, look at Bobby Gerhart. A lot of damage to Bobby Gerhart. He's not going to win again here on the super speedways. There was a contact right there. Mark Thompson's car gets up on 2 wheels. Patrick Shelter gets a little bit of piece of that. Sean Core had such a good running. He gets a piece of that. He's bottom of your screen left. See Bobby Gerhart up against the outside wall. There's Patrick Shelter gets into Mark Thompson. There's James Buscher. He gets into Mark Thompson.
Yeah, a lot of damage on a lot of race cars. Sean Core in the 82 goes down the track. Here comes Bill Baird in the 52. The 5 of Bobby Gerhart. The 4 of Ricky Carmichael. There you see the damage to the 4 of Ricky Carmichael's truck.
We heard his spotters say that something broke. They wasn't sure if it was a tire or what, but something broke on that truck. And man, look at the damage on it, Phil.
Yeah, what a great run Ricky was having. He was currently being shown in the 7th position right then. Tough break for that monster Chevrolet.
Had to go from the bottom of the track right to the wall.
Yeah, top of your screen, you saw something definitely broke there. Looked like something maybe different than a flat tire, didn't it, Michael?
Certainly hard to tell. And the way that thing came to a rest over there, it's just...
I think he may have actually got into the inside wall as well.
It didn't come to a rest, did it? It came to an abrupt stop. He hit it hard on the inside wall as well, looks like.
You see top of your screen.
Of course, he's not in control of the truck at this point. He's just going wherever it wants.
Probably didn't have any brakes at that. There's the contact with the inside wall.
James Buscher in the 31.
Oh, we got a crash.
Ricky Carmichael around and backs it into the outside wall.
Looked like Mike Skinner.
Oh, and cars and trucks flying in there. That was the 6 that came in. That is Jeffrey Earnhardt that made contact after Carmichael came back down the racetrack.
Look at the damage on that 6 truck. That's hard contact.
The right front spring fell out of that truck and rolled into the infield grass.
The whole right front corner of that truck is
just
gone. It isn't there anymore. See Jeffrey Earnhardt.
The window net down on the 4 of Ricky Carmichael.
That started with contact from Skinner, but I don't know whether Carmichael came down or Skinner slid up. You know, you go into that 3rd turn. We saw it with Mario Goslin earlier in the race. You have a tendency, if you're down on the inside of someone, to get loose.
That's a really flat corner down there, banked about 2 degrees less than 1 and 2.
So Carmichael, after backing the truck into the outside wall, slides back down. The window net is down for Jeffrey Earnhardt.
There was, you know, you expect as a race car driver for a truck like Carmichael's just to stay up on that outside wall. That's what you hope happens. And the truck's all committed to the bottom for that to happen. But, man, not only did he come off the wall, it came off in a hurry.
Slid down the racetrack. That's where the biggest contact was made between the 6. There's Jeffrey Earnhardt climbing out of his number 6 truck. And that's a good sight to see.
Yeah, both those guys look like a trip to the infield care center, and they're going to be fine. He's going to check out the right front corner of that truck and shake his head. I agree, Jeffrey. That's big contact. Let's see what happened, Phil.
Carmichael running in the 15th spot.
Watch this now. There's the 5 of Mike Skinner. He gets into the corner. They make a little contact without a doubt. And that corner is so flat, there's no bank to catch you.
Watch this thing come across the track now, just fast.
Jeffrey Earnhardt had committed to the bottom. He was all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack, just as you mentioned, expecting that truck to probably stay up against the outside wall. See Hornaday go by, the 33 truck.
Second contact between Carmichael and Earnhardt.
There's the contact. You saw the little puff of smoke there. Ricky hard in the outside wall. Then the wheels are turned hard right. Comes back down. Jeffrey all the way on the grass down there, thinking he was going to be okay.
The caution flies. These guys all come to pit road.
And Prawblems, Mario Gosling gets into the wall. He collects the 4 of Ricky Carmichael. Now back down the racetrack. Let's make sure that he doesn't get into the path of any of the other drivers. He stays clear, but hard hit to the inside wall for Ricky Carmichael as well.
Just a wrong place at the wrong time for Ricky Carmichael. It seems like that's been a good majority of the season. See, Mario, that's 2 weeks in a row with pretty significant damage to the tire monkey.
Yeah, that's hard crash there. We talked at Nashville that he didn't really have the trucks to be reckoned like he did at Nashville, and this is another one that's gonna require a lot of work to get it fixed. See Ricky kind of dejected there, trying to work his way out of that truck. That was a real big hit for Ricky Carmichael. He got clipped right in the right rear quarter panel, and it just turned him.
See, Mario just got loose getting down in the corner. Tries to keep it up against the wall, but he clips the right rear quarter of Ricky Carmichael's truck and turns Ricky just about head on into that wall.
And Ricky makes more contact with the inside wall.
Yeah, by this time he has no brakes. He probably broke a brake rotor when he hit the outside wall. There's Mario, gets into the outside wall, and then watch him just clip the corner of that truck and puts him at least at a 45-degree angle anyway.
But Harvick still has a long way to go.
It's like
Look out, Danica gets turned
hard.
Danica Patrick,
Hold the brake.
she was running
We got
14th.
a big wreck there.
Stenhouse is
Wheel straight as
involved.
you can.
The
Wheel straight as you
10,
can.
Ricky Carmichael's involved.
So I was talking about, there was a lot of yellow bumpers
I'm
in
all
that
right,
group.
but what should I do?
Just come on to the pit. Just come on around here.
This was a tough break. She was inside the top 15, which was her goal. And she got turned. Ricky Carmichael also suffered damage, as we pointed out in this one.
Grip on ready, baseball bat, whatever you need.
Our 6th caution here at Auto Club Speedway, with right now 9 laps to go. And Ricky Stenhouse, as he
Bring it to
has
the pit box.
got a lot of damage. And let's take another look.
Somebody got in the back of James Buscher, looks like maybe Carmichael, and then just forced him, Buscher, into the 7. And then it just, man, it all breaks loose.
So at least 3 cars with heavy damage. Let's go on board with Danica and just listen.
There. Entry bumper. Still there. Clear. Outside now. Outside, outside, outside. 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 Stay low. Hold the brake there. Hold the brake. Hold the brake. We got a big wreck there. Keep the wheel straight as you can. Keep the wheel straight as you can. Right there. You'll be all right.
I'm all right, but what should I do?
Just come on to the pit. Just come on around here. Be fine.
One more angle.
Yeah, you could see that the spotter told her that there was someone outside. She gave room to that car. And then, unfortunately, wow, I don't know if he got hit from behind, turned out. Hard to tell right there.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell exactly how it happened, but definitely contact from James Buscher.
I'd like to see all these new faces battling.
Oh,
in the
trouble.
top 10.
Big contact, Ricky Carmichael, as well as Parker Kligerman.
That was a huge crash. Parker had just been in the pits repairing some damage.
Get ready.
A lot of damage to that monster Chevrolet, Ricky Carmichael.
Someone thought whatever precipitated that was crazy, and man, the result of whatever precipitated it was crazy. Did you see that Ford truck hit that outside wall?
Yeah, as well as the 29 of Parker Kligerman.
A lot of damage to both race trucks.
Both these trucks were running on the lead lap. Here we go. They just got together.
Yeah, looked like the 29 tried to take it in a little bit harder.
Did it appear that the 29 thought maybe the 4 would give him a hole there, and the hold wasn't available? It's sort of hard to sometimes pin blame.
He jumps to the inside. It looks like the 4 had already committed to go to the inside of the 30. I think Parker Kligerman drove it into a hole maybe that wasn't really there.
I think that's a good call, Phil. You know, and another thing, when you drive into a hole, it doesn't matter if it is late in the race. If somebody closes it, you need to be in control of your truck. So if he closes it, you know, you hit him, maybe that other guy crashes, but you don't. Obviously, Parker put himself into a position that he couldn't get out of.
Yeah, such a talented young driver there. As you were talking about, inside of 20 laps to go, it's time to try to gain some positions.
Ricky Carmichael into the wall, coming out of turn 4. The field spreading. We've got a problem behind him, too. It looks like 2 trucks maybe slapped the wall. Oh, and hard hit by Johanna Long as they crossed the stripe. Also involved was the 8 of Nelson Piquet Jr.
You know, we talk about this racetrack being really narrow, but it's not narrow on the straightaway. So there was plenty of room there to have driven around. You see Ricky Carmichael trying to refire that truck.
Look at the damage to the 20 of Johanna Long.
See Johanna moving around in that truck. That's a good sign.
She's up against the inside, well, close to the inside barrier. You see the window net coming down. That's a great sign.
See, Ricky tries to keep the truck up against the outside wall.
Her tire was down right there. I think that's why we started seeing the sparks.
You know what? Let's ride with Ricky Carmichael and just get a sense of what this is like coming out of turn 4.
You heard the tires start squealing there when he lost control of the back of that truck. Now he's going to have hard contact here.
Both of those guys terrible loose talking on the radio. And I just, we got a
big hit by Ricky Carmichael, Ray. Big hit by Carmichael into the wall. Destroyed the front end of that truck.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh, good to hear that.
Thank goodness for those safety barriers.
Look at the destruction.
We heard Ricky just say he got loose.
Wow, that thing is...
May have been a situation where he got loose, overcorrected, and then shot that thing into the wall head on.
That truck is destroyed. Look at the splitter. It's stuck underneath the wall.
Hard contact. Great to hear Ricky telling his crew chief that he's okay.
Yeah, when spotter crew chief talked to him and you see him climbing out of that truck, what an amazing testament to the safety here of these vehicles and those safer barriers.
I think he's okay, but he ain't great. You can tell he's sort of slowly working his way out of the truck and getting his helmet off.
I'll tell you, a shot like that's going to ring your bell and quite possibly knock the wind out of you. He sounded fairly good. Here's another look. You see him. He's in between 2 trucks, and he does get sideways and then overcorrects it. And man, did that truck hit the wall hard.
You talked about it. You're going 160, 170 miles an hour when you get into the turn.
Yeah, but you know,
and that's a hard right turn.
You just don't see wrecks that hard very often. I mean, that truck clobbered the outside wall, and he shot up there at just such an extreme angle, Phil.
Almost perpendicular to the outside wall.
Head on.
He was running in the 14th spot. This is the 3rd DNF.
Look at all this debris.
Who was that cut a tire maybe? You see the black marks going into the outside wall? One of the trucks got into the wall when he ran over some of that debris.
Here's Todd. He's right behind. You see Ricky get sideways and then overcorrects. Yeah, no contact from any other vehicle.
It's just loose.
And look at all the debris, as you mentioned.
Who's this white truck coming in here in a minute?
17 of Timothy Peters.
46 of Craig Gose also. That's the radiator sitting out in front of the truck, just being held by the radiator hose. That's it right there.
Look at the size
of the wheels.
See that sway bar in there? That's the area right there. That's his sway bar. Look at the size of that sucker. You can get a real look inside what he's got under his hood. What's left under there at least.
Yeah, wow.
There's the front end they're trying to tear off of the truck.
Look out, trouble. The 30 of Ricky Carmichael, his dream of winning in 4 wheels. Also the 07 spinning around of Danny Eflin. Our second caution is out. The 5-time winner here at Daytona in Supercross. His goal is to be the first to win on 2 and 4 wheels, but that is going to have to wait. Eflin able to keep it off the wall, and he's back underway. Carmichael with a ton of damage on the left and back, and he was 20th at the time of this incident. Let's go back and see what happened.
Yes, Timmy Hill on his back bumper, but he's on that right side pretty hard. Looks like he lost the left rear tire. Yeah. Must have had some contact with another car earlier and cut that left rear tire down. As you can see, the tread rubber coming off of it. So watch right here. And that's where it comes loose.
And notice the 13 in front of the 33 there. Jennifer Jo Cobb ahead of Clint Boyer. She gets the lucky dog and gets back on the lead lap.
Really good to see that. Around goes Ricky Carmichael in the 4. Right in front of the grandstands. Also slowing behind him. That's the 63 of Jack Smith.
Yeah, Jack got caught up in the aftermath, it looks like.
Ricky's got a lot of damage to the left side of that truck. Jack's going to be okay. Pull some fenders out on that one. He'll be all right, but I believe Ricky will have to have extensive repairs.
Yeah, look at the left rear corner of that monster Chevrolet. As well as the left front.
Monster mash.
He was running in the 15th position.
Look if he got a little help or if it just got loose. He got loose up under Miguel, it looks like.
Got loose right there. Fortunately, he didn't take Miguel with him. Look at Ty Bodine. Watch Ty Bodine drive by on the inside. Brendan gone on the outside before Ricky backed up into the outside safer barrier.
We talked about these guys being right on the edge of control. Look at the outside line. Barely sneaked by.
And Ty Bodine was looking straight at Ricky's door and turned that truck hard left to miss him.
Oh, Eichler runs into the back of Jack Smith and turns him in the outside wall. By the time you're that far back, guys, you're relying totally on your spotter. You can't see what's happening up ahead of you off the turn.
All those trucks that pit under green.
Oh, we got a low tire up in turn 4.
And up against the wall, the 4 of Ricky Carmichael. Once again, the caution will come out, and all of that strategy we talked about goes out the window.
Totally out the window. Just forget what I just said.
We had it covered for you. Fans, if you wanted to know exactly how this was going to play out, if that didn't happen, we had your bases covered. But, man, we talked about these being safer barriers and not soft walls. Did you see how much narrowed up the front of that Ford truck was after that contact? Must be 3 feet narrower now.
It's been a rough race for Ricky Carmichael. Damage to the rear of that truck, now damage to the right front, the whole right side.
It's been a rough year for Ricky Carmichael. Big crash up at Dover. Had a bad crash at Darlington.
Been really competitive in the races. He's been able to get to the end. See him, right front tire goes down, Michael, and nothing he could do about it. He'd locked the brakes up, and it actually spun the truck a little bit sideways.
Follow along with Parker Kligerman. Watch this tire blow out.
And hard into the wall for Carmichael.
Yeah, tough break for Parker Kligerman. We saw him run out of fuel after come to pit road. He's being shown 3 laps down now.
And he'll get one of them back here, I reckon, when everybody pits, but certainly
after 2 runner finishes in a row, got up into the top 5 in points, and that's going to really, really hurt Parker Kligerman.
Reason why we're under. Our first caution, the 4 of Ricky Carmichael, complaining no brakes, got into the wall hard, destroyed the right side of that truck.